Hey guys, welcome to the Bin Zone. On today's video, we're going to be discussing the Netflix original series Warrior Nun. Guys, I'm doing that just in case the show is deemed blasphemous, but if the show is also righteous for you guys, better safe than sorry. But for real, on this video, we're going to be breaking down Warrior Nun Season 1, talking about the ending, the characters, the plot, and the theme to get a better understanding of the overall story of this season. And I want to start off with the plot of the show. The show follows this young girl named Ava who is dead in the first episode. Talk about psh, right? Now, our main character being dead is a crazy way to start off the season. But Ava's brought back to life shortly after by putting a magical halo in her back, and she becomes the fabled badass warrior nun. Now, being the warrior nun is a very big deal, because you're bestowed the honor of leading the OCS, or the Order of the Crucifix Sword, which is a sect of the Catholic Church that is dedicated to fighting demons using nuns as their soldiers, essentially. And this has been the way for over 1,000 years in the show's universe, because the angel Adriel came from heaven to help the humans fight their holy war. Now, an interesting tidbit about this is the angel Adriel was a very particular name to me, because out of the 7 archangels in the Bible and the 7 archangels of religion, Adriel is not a name that you come across. There's Michael, Raphael, Gabriel, Uriel, Raquiel, Remiel, Seraquel, the 7 archangels. So off rip, this is very suspicious that an angel that almost no one has ever heard of is the guardian angel of the OCS. But as the show progresses, we begin to learn more about the OCS, the angel Adriel, and the role of the warrior nun. And it's part of a never-ending cycle to always eradicate demons who are coming to this realm, who are coming from hell to this universe in order to find the angel's halo. Because the angel's halo is one of the most divine things in creation and one of the most powerful objects in all of theology, religion, or mythology, whatever you can think of. The angel's halo is powerful as shit. Prime example is the fact that it resurrected Ava from the dead and granted her all these supernatural powers. But as this is happening, and as Ava's becoming more adept with her powers and her responsibility, we have on the flip side a tech company who is using the angel Adriel's armor to create a portal to heaven. So when you take technological advances and you take religion and theology and you bring them together, you have a clash of sorts. And then you throw in demons into the mix, and now it's a whole jambalaya of things going on, which the show really tackles, because every episode of Warrior Nun is named after a biblical verse. So let's grab our Bibles and jump in and look at the titles. For example, the first episode is titled Psalms 46:5. That's Book of Psalms, verse 5. And that is, God is within her, she will not falter. And that is perfectly mirrored within the first episode, because the angel's halo, God in itself, is inside the character of Ava, and she will not falter. And as we go on and we look at various other episode titles, every title, every Bible verse used as an episode title correlates to the main theme of that episode. So let's look at our main character, Ava. Ava's story is the story of redemption as well as finding purpose, because when Ava started off in the first episode, she was dead. However, before the series started and we look back, Ava was quadriplegic and she was in the care of the Catholic Church in Spain. And for the most part, it was a miserable time. Imagine being quadriplegic and you're stuck inside of a home. And what ends up happening to Ava is she's about to age out of the home. So the nun on duty decides to mercy kill her by poisoning her in her sleep and causing her to die, which in itself is kind of fucked up. And that brings us a whole new outlook on other parts of religion, such as just because you're a religious person does not necessarily mean you're a good person. Because you're a nun does not necessarily mean you're good. And we see this in the form of the nun taking care of Ava. And the way that she treats the kids inside the home is not holy at all, right? So then, as we're following Ava throughout the season, we're introduced to a cast of characters, and each character has their own knack. Of the main warrior nuns we know, we have Shotgun Mary, we have Beatrice, we have Camilla, and we have Lilith. Now, I want to take a closer look at Lilith, because by virtue of her name, you could already tell something was up, because the name of Lilith is often represented in the biblical term as the first demon, the first person that Lucifer corrupted. And that is Lilith's character arc throughout the show. She's obsessed with being the best, being the halo bearer, the one who will lead the OCS. And when Ava becomes the warrior nun, she's rife with pride and jealousy. And because of that, even though she sacrifices her life to save Ava, she dies and comes back a demon, comes back a monster. And that mirrors the biblical story of Lilith, the first demon, which I found to be quite intriguing. And that's something the show does really well, incorporating biblical mythology and theology into the modern setting while honoring the stories and bringing a modern twist to them. And then we have another character who I want to look at, Shotgun Mary. Shotgun Mary is a BAMF, a badass motherfucker, because her name is Shotgun Mary, dual shotgun wielding, but her story is also the story of acceptance. Because remember, in the Bible, the Virgin Mary was visited by angels and had to accept the fact that she is going to be the mother of Jesus Christ. So her story was acceptance, and that's mirrored in the form of Shotgun Mary. Shotgun Mary had to accept the fact that Shannon, the previous halo bearer, is gone, and that the Catholic Church, while she thinks is corrupt, is not to the level that she thinks it is. It's her accepting that, her coming to realize that Shannon is gone, but her mission is still at hand, and the world still needs her. So that character journey works for her. And then we have Beatrice. Beatrice's character is one about love, self-love specifically. Her character journey is about accepting herself as a lesbian, loving herself regardless of whatever the outside world might influence her, especially being that she's part of the Catholic Church, and they don't look too well upon that type of lifestyle, even though that's neither here nor there. But these characters are a hodgepodge of things happening, and then you have the tech company and the CEO, Julian, accepting the fact that faith is bigger than science, because she is a tech head. She's Science 101. It's a tech company. So her entire thing is finding out a way to save her son by tapping into a gateway that will open another dimension to paradise. Not necessarily the biblical sense, and it's her using science, digging deep and looking into things that she's not supposed to, that she begins to understand that there are things beyond her control. There are greater forces out there beyond science, things that science just can't explain, that just happens, the theological, the mythical, whatever you want to call it. It's her character learning to accept religion as it is. And then we have the character Adria, the one we thought was an angel at first, but turns out to be nothing but a thief who stole the halo and is hiding it. And the demons are after Adria, especially the halo specifically, to return to its owner, I'm assuming, or use the power to break out of hell. Those are two options that exist, because if there are demons, that can only mean one thing. That's Lucifer's arrow, the fallen angel Lucifer. And Adria escaped hell with Lucifer's halo, and that's why he's sending demons such as the Tarask after Adria to find this. And Adria himself was a finesser, a liar, a thief. Think of the god Loki, right, from Norse mythology. And that's why the humans trapped him in a cave where he can't escape in order to harness his power for good. The Catholic Church was the one who trapped him in order to use that power to help rid the world of demons who are only coming because of Adriel's halo. Now, let's get to the end of the season. At the end of the season, we have a climactic showdown between the OCS nuns and Adriel, as the nuns were betrayed by Father Vincent, because this entire time Vincent was serving Adriel and using the OCS as a way to set them up. He is the one who set up Shannon to die because he needed the halo in someone's hands that he could use to free Adriel. And that's why throughout the season, he was so adamant about getting Ava, because Ava would follow him because she is not religious. So she would want to follow his ideology in a sense. Now, at this end, we have Adriel summoning demons, which further cements the fact that he is of hell, and has the demons overwhelm the nuns, especially Shotgun Mary, who rushes in there with her dual-wielding shotgun and is surrounded by demons, and it ends. Now, this is a very interesting scenario. Now we know two things. The nuns are overwhelmed, and Ava does not have enough power to fight Adriel as well as all the demons. But we also have to take a look at the fact that Michael, the son of Julian, decided to step in the portal because he knew Ava would be at a certain location. What's interesting is the fact that Michael himself seems weird, weak, or weary, and almost as though he's communicating with angels. So, as I said earlier, the halo might belong to Lucifer, but it might also belong to Lucifer's older brother, Michael, and he had to jump into the vessel of Julian's son in order to get his halo back, because at this point, they needed a halo bearer who could actually help achieve this goal, and Ava's the prime example. So Michael, Julian's son, might be the incarnation of the Archangel Michael, the granddaddy of angels, the one who put down Lucifer, the greatest angel, God's greatest champion, Michael, the Archangel. I know I'm hyping Michael up, but he's another Banff in the Holy War, right? He is the granddaddy Mac of archangels. And that's what season 2 is going to be about. Michael coming into his own, saving the warrior nuns, and having to fight a world overrun with Adriel and demons now. And without his powers, or without his halo, because Ava is going to keep it because she needs that to be alive. And now we have this dichotomic relationship where Michael is not as powerful as he could be to help them stop the demons, but also Ava, who's the warrior nun who's faded because God chose her to become the warrior nun, as the first episode titled Psalm 46:5 shows us that she has God within him. And the final episode titled Revelations 2:10, do not be afraid of what you're about to suffer. That's another message to Ava. Don't be afraid of what's to come. Because we know, like I said earlier, all the episodes are titled after biblical verses, and those verses represent a message that God has for the character of Ava. Anyway, guys, that's my breakdown of the first season of Warrior Nun. I'd love to hear your feedback in the comment section below, guys. And if you guys want to talk about this some more, consider hitting me up on Twitter. Follow me. Come on, just click right there, follow me, or hit the subscribe button down below and join the Binge Zone Network. But guys, until next time, binge on.